Hey there, everybody. Tom here. Thought we'd do a late night chat. Been a long weekend, and I just hoping to talk to you guys for a little while. Is all. Looks like there's nobody here, so it must be going out slowly. Those boys are playing in there, but that music is getting old. Hey there, Mom to Five and Faye. Blue is my color. Lindy, Tanya, Veronica. Good to see you. Hey there, Sandy. Wow, a lot of people joined up real fast. Good to see you guys. Hey there. It's uh it's Sunday night and I thought it'd be nice to talk to you guys. It's been really quiet and yeah, just wanted to spend some time doing something. No, it's pretty bad. So I still have three kids that are running a fever. Fever seems to last 3 or 4 days and Asher's still fighting a fever. Judah, Hen. I can't remember if Solomon had one now. I think he had a minor one, but they're all still coughing and got snot flowing, and it's not a very fun. I'm pretty sure it's the flu. So it's been kind of a nightmare. Thankfully, I haven't gotten it, or if I have it, I haven't noticed it. So, anyways, it's been kind of crazy. The living room has been where everybody's been camping for the entire weekend. They've just been there. They haven't about moved at all the whole day, every day, all night. So this is the first night everybody kind of slept in their own beds. So everybody's in their own beds. Asher and Judah, well, they're now playing on their phones or hanging out or something. But it's been pretty crazy, and um, I've been, it's a dumb, silly little thing, but I've been doing all the chores and making all kinds of weird meals, whatever I can get them to eat or drink, and doing all the dishes and stuff. And that's not something I normally do. And I just praise God that I have kids and we have our house set up to be such a well-run machine with the kids all having their own chores and stuff. Because oh man, I feel for all the moms out there that do all the things. Oh my gosh, it's a nightmare. Audio's cutting out. Cutting out for anybody else? Uh-oh. No sound at all. How about now? Hello, hello, hello. Okay. Okay, good. Anyways, so it's been one of those weekends. It's been kind of a challenge and difficult, and I spent a bunch of money that I didn't need to spend on Sprite and soda and candy and just stuff I thought I could get him to eat because nobody wanted to eat anything. So I swear, I think Justice said he's lost like 10 pounds while he's been sick, and he's not super. he's not super heavy to begin with, so um, I was worried about him. But anyways, it's just been scary. So I've been making him drink stuff, and I've got popsicles and ice cream and soda, and um, make them all whatever they want. And so I think Hannah had oatmeal. Eden and Asher and Judah wanted quesadillas, chicken quesadillas. So they got chicken quesadillas. Um, Justus just wanted some fruit. So I made him like 3 or 4 apples sliced up real thin with some yogurt. And I've just been playing short order cook for the last couple days for whatever they'd have. And then, of course, keeping medicine in them, rotating from Motrin to Tylenol to they have NyQuil. And Judah hasn't been able to sleep. So he's had like insomnia, terrible. He hasn't slept like at all the last couple nights. So I felt bad for them all. Anyways, it's finally calmed down. All the kids are in their own bed. They're still not better, but I guess it's through the I don't know. I don't know if we're even through the worst of it. I guess we are. They're seeming better than they were. So, and then I'm just sitting here, nothing to do, feeling a little lonely, and thought, you know what? I got people in YouTube land that would probably join live and hang out and talk. So, yeah, we did the chicken broth thing. I did chicken soup for the people that would eat it on Saturday, and not very many people did. So I had a whole bunch of bowls of not eaten chicken soup. I tried chicken noodle soup, and then I had the creamy chicken noodle soup, and I tried to cook it different ways. Then I made just broth, and then broth with just ramen packets broth because I have kids that will only eat chicken broth that's with the ramen Maruchan ramen flavor. So, anyways, it is what it is. But I got a cough, but I had a bit of a cough before, so I don't know if I just got it and it just turned into a cough. But I didn't have any of the symptoms they did. I didn't have a fever. I didn't feel nauseous. I didn't feel nasty and terrible. None of that. So and that was last week. So I don't know. Let me turn my audio Bible down. Sometimes the background audio can cause it to cut in and out. Is the sound still cutting out for you? Maybe if I turn it upside down this way. Oh, I guess I can't do it that way anymore. Won't let me. Used to let me switch. Sound is fine. Okay. Okay, good. Hey there, Stacy and Veronica. Good. I'm glad it's working. Anyways, just been one of those times. Yeah, I don't know what I'd do with myself. Um, my mom's not as good as she was, so I worry about her. And since we're sick, I don't want to go see her. Thankfully, my sister's down right now and spending time with her. And we've got a couple other people that rotate going and seeing her. I think she needs more constant care now. And so she doesn't want to go somewhere. She doesn't want to move here to my house. So it leaves us with little options. So you can keep praying. But anyways, didn't really have anything to talk to you guys about. I just thought it'd be nice to just talk to somebody. Been one of those weeks. And again, I'm so appreciative of my kids and all the chores that they do. I was glad to be able to take care of them so intensely over this weekend, but I'll be looking forward to them getting better. Thankfully, the worst of it seemed to have hit Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and they seem to like a little bit better today. So, yeah. Anyways, not much else been going on. Been wanting to build a new table, so I have some table legs. I want to know where they're downstairs, I think. Some new table legs, and I got some wood for the side rails. Got some ideas for that, but everything kind of got put on hold. I also got some stuff for redoing the bike shed, some special pulley lifters that lift bikes up to the rafters, because we got so many bikes that the bike shed is overloaded and ends up getting storage in there. It wasn't really meant to have a bunch of storage in it, but it does, and that's just how it is now, and it's a wreck. And so I wanted to fix that up, and then I've got a bunch of stuff for vegetable seeds that I've got that I ordered that I'm dying to get planted at some point. Obviously, there's still snow on the ground, but I got some stuff to do some seedlings inside. I've never been a huge fan about doing seeds inside. It's never worked well for us because of the whole weatherizing thing. That just they get spindly and weak when they're growing off of lights and windows and don't have the wind and all that. So, but sometimes like tomatoes or even corn, it might not be a bad idea to get them started. So probably going to do that. There's too many things to do, but that all kind of stopped. Yeah, there is lots of memories in the table. It's going to make me sad to take it apart. But it reminds me what Andrea taught me about the whole KonMari decluttering method. And I thought it was so silly and dumb when I first heard it about, thanking all the things and, thanking the table for all the wonderful dinners it held for us. It's not like the table's a person or real or has feelings or any of that, but it's for ourselves. It helps us to have closure and remember those things. And if Andrea was alive, she would have had some wistful feelings about getting rid of the table. But at the same time, she wouldn't have hesitated to get rid of it. It's just different now that, now that she's dead or whatever. It's funny how things change. Yeah, it'd be nice if I could make something out of the table, a shelf or something. I don't even need a headboard. I don't have a headboard. We've had everything in this room. When I first got married, I worked at the furniture store, and so I had access to lots of catalogs and found this. I think Andrew called it a princess bed, but what did they call it? I don't remember. But it has all the stuff on the top, and she put all this fabric and stuff that dangled down and all that, and it made me sad when we got rid of that. I was never the kind of person that was into memories of things like it's a thing. I don't care. Get a new one. If it's not serving its purpose, I want to get rid of it. But part of getting married and being open to somebody else, his feelings and way of thinking about things, and made me more emotional than I probably ever was before. Kind of how it is, I guess. Change so many good things in the world. Some scary, not so welcome, but it happens. That's absolutely true. It does. You move all the jars on the shelves. Yeah, I need to. I've been slowly getting rid of them. We've been having some things I've been kind of useful. Canopy bed. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. The jars, I have some, we've been needing jars for various things, not for the purposes Andrea would have ever imagined, but I got these things for the bubble mixes I don't know what to do with. I have one for elbow noodles, macaroni noodles, and one for gumballs and popcorn seeds and all kinds of things that she would have never used them for. But all those jars that are up there, it's just for looks. All that stuff is well past any kind of time it could be used. I need to just get rid of it, but it's been hard. I've done a good job of getting rid of a lot of things that she had input on that she did. Claudia came in today and was asking me about these birds. We've had these birds. I've said it before. I talked about them before, but Andrew had these little porcelain birds there. And I always thought it was weird because you can see that I always said it was a mama bird, a big mama bird on the left, and all the other, and there's 9 little birds. Then how funny is that? That there was just not enough birds for our family, but I guess it can be a daddy bird and 9 little birds. And she was fascinated. She said, "So I'm a little bird?" And I said, "Well, yep, you're a little bird." And she says, "Well, you have 9 little birds. There's only 8 little birds." And I said, "Well, Thomas is my little bird too." And what's wrong with me? Life's about changes, some not, some meant to stay. Life's about changing. I suppose it is. I suppose it is. I always said it's about loss. Andrew had this great description about when you're born with nothing, and all of a sudden you're in this new room, all bright lights, and before you know it, you have people, you have a mom and dad, and people that love you, and as you grow, you get more and more people in your life, and you get cars and jobs and things and places and homes and neighborhoods and community. But then it seems like the older you get, you start losing those things one at a time. People start dropping off, things break down, and it just seems like you end up at the end just as alone as you were when you started. But I know that's not the way it was supposed to be. I've been in several grief support groups, Super Chat Cat. Well, several. I've been in 3, and including therapy. And I don't. It's the kind of thing that doesn't work for me. I kind of tell them all the things that they want to hear, and I'm good at talking about that stuff. So all my life I've done preaching and teaching and guiding and that kind of stuff, and I'm really good at it. And that's kind of what I do when I do YouTube. I'm talking to you guys, and I'm talking and explaining, and I'm in my zone, and for whatever reason, and I end up talking, and I get into a mode where I can say all the right things. I can pass for totally sane, even though I got my own issues and problems. It's the kind of thing that they're never going to go away. Not until I have someone sitting next to me, probably. So, and maybe not even then, who knows? I think we all have some sadness in our life, don't we? To me, this part of my life is a totally different category than all the sadness I've ever had before. My dad died when I was young. I lost a brother. My parents got divorced. Did all kinds of things that had a lot of pain in them. I had a marriage my first marriage before Andrea only lasted 10 months. I had to go through a terrible custody battle. Lost custody of my daughter, and then had to sign away my rights so she could be adopted, because while I couldn't get the custody. She didn't want custody either. Anyways, one of those things that there's all a lot of pain in a lot of our lives, a lot of pain in a lot of our lives. We all have a baggage and things and difficulties and sadness, but you get past them, you deal with them, you grow, you figure it out, or you just get used to the pain, I suppose. But it doesn't seem like this kind of thing. I mean, I miss Andrea, but it's not like I miss her like it was before. I'm not sitting around moping around missing her. I think you miss having somebody that cares about you, that thinks about you or worries about you. And of course, I have people that worry about me, so it's not the same thing. It's hard to explain, I guess, but yeah, all those other things. Again, I could teach you a sermon. I could preach a sermon on all the things, on loss, on death, and I could do a good job of making you seem like that I was super healthy and on board with everything, and I am with all the things, except for this part of my life. But oh well, that's what happens late at night. You get the more emotional Tommy than to begin with, or Tom. Yep. Well, thank you, Laszlo. I appreciate it. Yep, the kids have been watching a lot of Andrea's old videos, and so I'll hear them sometimes in the morning when I'm still asleep. Little girls get up and watch an old vlog. Hannah likes to watch her old birthdays. Hey there, Melissa. Little girls like to watch Hannah likes to watch likes to watch her birthdays, and I wonder what she thinks when she watches them. Is it because it's about her? Or is it because it's her and her mom? I don't know. It's interesting for me because I didn't watch Andrea's videos. I lived them. So at the time, it's like I didn't need to watch them. But at the same time, she recorded so much where I was at work. And so there was a lot there that was, that I never saw. Hey there, Amy. The Holy Spirit giving answers why you're still single. I don't know. It's not like I haven't had a chance. I dated several people that were very eager to get married, but it wasn't the right situation. So that's kind of how it goes. Master making others think it's all great. I'm good at that too. Sometimes I'm not that good at it. It just depends on the day and how it is. But yeah, my mom's got all of her affairs in order. So I hate to see her not quite the person she was before. I miss her, and I know she feels sad and alone. I'm glad that Melanie can be there, my sister. I want to spend as much time as possible. Oh, thank you, Denise. Best dad on this app. That's sure saying a lot. That's awful kind of you. My mom's struggling a little bit, but He's hanging in there. You lost your mom and then your husband. Oh, yikes. That's awful. My dad died when I was 10. Um, but I have a stepdad, and he's still alive, but he's not. Him and my mom separated. So I still talk to him, but I haven't seen him in a while. I've been thinking maybe we go visit him this summer, possibly. I'm slouching. Yep. It sucks when people are dying. That's rough. I hope so, Super Chat Cat. Am I still happy with the purple mattress? I am. I like it, but it's interesting because I bought this after Andrea had passed away. It was hard for me to have the other mattress. The other mattress, I actually won in a sales competition when I was at the furniture store. And I won my choice of any mattress the company made. And of course, I got the most expensive mattress you can get. And so it's like a $3,000 mattress. And it was Olympic queen size, which is a size bigger than queen, 6 inches wider than a queen, but not quite as big as a king. And it still fit on a queen frame and a queen box springs. Anyways, it was really nice, but it had been through a lot. There was, she had had babies on that bed, and so there was stains on it, and it just about killed me every time I changed the sheets and that kind of thing. So I got the purple mattress, but I'm the only person who's ever slept on it. So it's nice in a technical kind of way. I really like the pattern, and I think it's a good mattress, but no one's ever slept on it with me, so I don't know if what that's like. Maybe it's awful for that, so or maybe someone else will hate it, but that's kind of my bachelor mattress. Glad you can make it coffee with Rosaline. Yep. I've lost a lot of people in my life, but losing a person is different. It's different than all the people I've ever lost. Same issue letting go. Yep, I hear you. I would have never bachelorette mattress. I would have never paid $3,000 for a mattress in my entire life. Never. I only got that one because I won it. It was free. So, um, yeah. A lot of memories. I've been learning to play my hammer dulcimer again. You guys have probably seen that. I just printed out some of those white things to put the notes on them because I want to be able to feel the notes instinctively. And so I've had a lot of fun playing that lately. Starting to get my life back together again. It's been together, but I had my clean my room and getting things organized and doing things ahead of time. A lot of times I feel like I'm flying by the seat of my pants, just dealing with crises as they pop up. and haven't really thought about doing anything in advance. We went down the other day to get Justus's um, license plates, and he had got a car. I don't know if I told you guys that. He bought a car from one of his friends' dad. It was a really good deal, actually, for the car. We were really lucky to get it. And get all the way down there, and Justus was there, and I took off time from work and all this stuff. And they're like, "Do you have the title?" I'm like, "No, it's at home. Does that help?" And so, of course, I didn't do it. And so now I got to go back again. New table will be nice. Reorganizing your kitchen again. Yeah. I don't know. There's something nice about that. That's kind of what started it for me. That's kind of what started it for me. The, what, how did it happen? Why did I redo the floor? I got a wild hair to do the floor. Something was happening. Oh, I remember now. It was going to be Sophia's birthday. It was Sophia's birthday, and she invited like so many people. So many people. So there were like 10 people, 10 invitations she sent out, people that I didn't know for moms of or friends. And I thought, oh my gosh, there's going to be 10 moms here who I don't know. And I was feeling pretty nervous about the whole situation. And so I thought the floor is the ugliest thing in our house. I I'm gonna just get it done. Of course, it takes that to get it done. It's not like the floor was actually nasty. It just looked nasty. It was clean, but so anyways, I thought we'll redo that. And before that led to getting a new rug, which led to all kinds of things, and it's kind of snowballed into getting things together in my life again. So yep, you guys were calling it before I was saying it. Yeah. Yeah, Judah's channel is doing great. You should guys should all go down and subscribe to Judah Mills's channel. If you want to see some vlogs again, they're on there. God only knows what's on there. He won't let me watch them most of the time. I can only watch him when he's not around. So if I start clicking on his video while we're around, he'll go, "No, Dad, no." He gets really mad. He's very embarrassed and shy. He doesn't want anybody to see his video. It's all cringy. He says, of course, we can watch it when nobody's around, but when he's not around, but he doesn't want to be there when we're watching it. So he's done a good job. I've been proud of him, but actually, my plan is to hire Eden of sorts to start doing some editing. She actually likes doing videos on her phone of just little clips of her friends and her cousins, and she clips them all together and makes memes out of them and stuff. It's really cute, and she's good at it. And so I was thinking I'm gonna try to pay her to edit videos and maybe take footage also because if I'm putting videos out regularly, the income helps. And but as it is, I just do the ones I can handle, and I can't even handle that. Like how long you been waiting for Sophia's birthday video? And I was gonna do it on Saturday, but there was just, I mean, it was total cleaning all day long of recovering from the night before, and then it was before you know it, it was lunchtime, and I had to find lunch for everybody, and then it was cleaning up from lunchtime, and it's like I feel for all you women out there that are having to deal with all that kind of stuff, and so um, I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything Saturday except for deal with sick kids. Oh, you reminded me. Our washer had been having a problem for quite a while. We got a new washer and dryer after Andrea died, and apparently I bought the extended warranty, which is not like me. I don't buy extended warranties, and I didn't know about it. But I got a call, and I thought it was junk. We're calling about your washer or extended warranty, and I'm like, yeah, whatever. And they were like, it's about to expire. Do you want to renew it?
And I was like, wait a minute, like I have an extended warranty on my washers. Yeah, it's up in March. So I was like, oh my gosh. So I immediately put a call in to get it taken care of because it's been filling up slowly for a long time, and sometimes it shocks you. So that's not good. So, anyways, thankfully someone's going to come and fix it, but it is hard not having a support person. Although a lot of people don't have them, right? I'm not the only lone person in the world. But what's hard is how you train your mind. Like my whole life, I've always improved myself. I see the problems that are wrong in my life. I can see that I'm too selfish or I'm too mean or too harsh or I'm always working on myself. And so when I got married, I continued doing that. I said, okay, to be married, this is what I need. I need to be more understanding. I need to be more there with the family, more there with the kids. I need to make time for my wife. I need to do this and that and have a good relationship. And so there's all these things, and I changed myself, and I, I became married Tommy, daddy and husband Tommy, and I've been shaving off all the things inside of me that were more independent and more leaning on the people in my life now. And then of course, now all of a sudden when that's gone, it's very difficult because I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back to the way I was. I don't want to go back to being all independent. And I've talked to a bunch of women on dating apps and stuff, and a lot of them are like, I don't need any man. I don't need no man. And and I understand that if that's you, that's fine. That's fine. It's not me. I know that I'm not a single type guy, and I don't want to be. I could make myself be that person. Would I be happier? Sure, but it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Being a husband is the greatest thing in the whole world, and being a daddy is the greatest thing in the whole world. And I wouldn't trade either of those things. So being a daddy with no kids, I imagine, would be very hard, and being a husband with no wife is also very hard. I don't want to be a bachelor again. I don't want to go back to the way it was. My identity once I wasn't a wife anymore. Part of me still here, but I understand. Absolutely. Totally get it. And again, I could make myself adapt. I know I could. I could forget what I need, what I want from a woman. I could forget those things. But I don't want to. I don't want to. So I've described it before as an itch. Like if you have an itch, it's a terrible itch right on your arm. You want to scratch it so bad. And of course, it feels so good when you do. And if you just don't scratch it and just let it go away on its own, it's agony. It's agony. And you know what? Eventually, the itch will go away. But it's the most unsatisfying, terrible feeling in the world. It's so much more enjoyable to just scratch the itch. And so I could let that itch go away, but it would just feel so much greater just to scratch it one day. So I'm holding out. I'm holding out. And my boy's been talking about moving out. Um, no. Justus has. Justus has mentioned it. I suspect he'll have a roommate and be moved out just as soon as he can get things together. So, being a mommy is therapy. See, that's the kind of how God made it, though. It's funny because both parents were meant to have children, and both a man and a woman were meant to have each other. But that doesn't change the fact that women are specifically gifted and they have a relationship with their kids that a man will never have. I'll never have that kind of relationship with my children that a mom would have with her children. And I think the other side is also true. I think a man's joy comes from the woman, And I think a man loves a woman in a way that a woman can't quite ever grasp in the same way, because I think her primary, not primary, but she has a big chunk of her heart is carved out for her children. And so I think that's why, like, the suicide rate among male widows is ridiculously high. And it's also true that when a man dies, and the woman will, a lot of times the woman will never ever remarry, whereas men more frequently get remarried. And so it's just kind of how it is. Oh, thank you, Rosaline. How do the older ones meet ladies? I don't know. I mean, I tried all my hardest to get them as best as possible. We go to a youth group, and I give them good old dad talks, and there's people that in our lives that they talk to, and work with, and but if I had that answer, I'd have it figured out. That's something I worry about still. Uncle got married within months of her aunt's passing. Been happily married to her for about 15 years now. Yeah, I hear that story frequently, and it could have been me. I had several women at that time that were interested in marrying me, and I'm glad I didn't because it wasn't right. But I'd be lying if I didn't still think about it sometimes. I wouldn't feel like I do now, one way or the other. Parents love each other, the children and the family fall into place and grow together. Well, that's just the thing. Everybody does their job. Everybody does their job. They have their roles. And I mean, that sounds all chauvinistic to say roles these days, but call it whatever you want. There are certain things that women are really good at and do so amazing. And it's funny because all the women I've dated up to now, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't say that. I don't know. I'll just say that there are certain problems that exist when there's a single mom with no dad. And there are certain struggles with the children that seem to be common between all the women I've dated. And I think the same thing is also true in a household where there's a man and kids with no woman. I think there's a different side that's missing. And so sometimes it's meant for both. Is Thomas thinking about marriage? I don't know. I don't get to talk to Thomas as much as I want to. I'm a single, divorced March mom of two boys after 22 years. Oh, yikes. I'm so sorry, Amy. That's awful and rough. I understand. It's not very fun. Someday, when I'm old and on my deathbed, whenever that is, if I ever get there, I'll look back over my life, and these will be the darkest days of my life. I'm no doubt. So I hope that there's still many good years in the future left, and that the best years of my life won't be behind me. Never remarry or date. Yep, I hear that a lot in the widows groups, and I'm a member of some different groups for widows, and that's a pretty common thing about some about women that lose their husbands. A lot of them just don't ever want to get remarried. Andrea said that. I've had that discussion before. That we had this conversation once, where out of nowhere, Andrea said, if you ever die, I wouldn't get remarried. And I told her I don't know what I would do, and she says, "Oh, you'd get remarried." And I says, "I don't even know what I do, and how do you know what I do?" She says, "Oh, please," and she said something that's slightly inappropriate that I won't say, but she basically said that I'd get remarried. A nicer version is you'd find some cute little thing and get remarried, is what she said, something like that. And I thought that was interesting because I didn't know. I'd never know what to say. Do kids oppose you dating or getting married again? I did with my dad and regret it now that he's alone at this age. I was just his daddy's girl. Um, they did early on. Early on, there was some kids that had a really hard time with me dating, and I'm not going to say who, but they don't now, and they all were very supportive, thankfully. And I think most of them really want, especially the little girls, they really want to have a mom. Best is yet to come. I like to hope so too. That's the dang truth, Penny. Exactly right. I'm reason you can par with the old jars. Thank you, Sandy. I could. I'm learning the balance between having pleasant memories of the past and wallowing in sadness. So, like, when Andrea got sick, for like the last month before we took her in, I wanted to take her to the doctor sooner, but she just acted like there's been times in her life where I'm not going to kill myself. I'm going to end up making myself all upset. Anyways, a couple weeks before we took her to the doctor, when everything kind of blew up, I bought her this thing of cookie dough ice cream, a little pint of cookie dough ice cream, and it sat in the freezer. And then she died. And every time I opened the freezer, I saw it there. And it was special. And it was like, I bought that for Andrea and she never ate it. And then I realized that it was unhealthy. It wasn't a good thing, it was a morbid thing. It was like seeing that there, it was like me wallowing in sadness for her. And I know she wouldn't want that for me. So shortly after, I got rid of it. And there's other things like this wall. This wall was hand painted by Andrea when we first got married in this house, and she wanted to repaint it so many times, and I never let her. I said, I can't. It's such a pleasant memory for me. Like each one of these is a piece of cardboard that she cut out of a box, and she traced it, and she hand painted it, and she took this piece of plastic wrap and dipped it in paint and did this faux finish on it. And it's a super special thing, and I'll probably never paint this room ever. Um, but I don't see it as a, a wallowing in pain memory. I don't have, and I don't think any very many unhealthy things around anymore. I've gotten rid of the ones I think that were the unhealthy memories. The jars are somewhere in between. They make me happy, but she liked it because they were functional. She'd make a soup and she'd take all those jars down and she'd throw a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and make a big stew or a soup. And it was functional. Now they're bordering on being something that's not useful anymore. The other side of it, they're not useful at all, but I mean being an unhealthy memory. But the other part of it is when I take those down, it won't look like her house anymore. So I don't want it to look like a bachelor pad with terrible decoration and mismatched colors. Yeah, I still have her here. I still have her here. It's in the drawer here. I'm glad that I got it. I wish I had taken more. I should have just told them to chop all her hair off before they lowered her down. You guys ever see Willow, that old movie? If you're my generation, you'll know what Willow is. Otherwise, you don't. But it's an old movie, kind of Lords of the Ringsy, and anyways, in it there's there's a scene where the guy is going to go off to battle or whatever, and he's about to leave, and he's a dwarf, and his wife, cuts off her hair and braids it into a braid to put on his belt. And so he always had it while he could think of her while he was out in battle or whatever. And for some reason, when I saw that, I was like, I want that someday. I want a woman who would do that someday. And so it's because of that I've actually got two locks of her hair. So Andrew, I had shared this story with Andrea, and so one of the times when Andrea one of the times when Andrea cut her hair or trimmed it, she took some off, and that's this one here. This one's from her. When she trimmed her hair, she cut this off and gave it to me, kind of like from that movie. So this is like, how old would she have been? 26 or 27-year-old Andrea's hair. And then, of course, when she died, I had him take this one off, and you can see there's a lot more gray in it than a 20-year-old hair. Anyways, thank you, Jess. Well, thank you, Stacy. I might appoint a mod at some point. In the past, it was hard because what ended up happening? I think I appointed a girlfriend a mod, and it ended up causing problems. And now it's just me. It's a mod and my kids. So I'm happy that the kids are okay. They all miss their mommy. I think Hannah misses her a lot, even though she didn't know her. She was only 1 year old. She was still breastfeeding. But the good news is I know what it's like to lose a child, a parent at that age, because it happened to me, and I can tell you that they're all okay. So if I'm the only one who's not okay, that doesn't mean that they're not missing something in their lives. I wish Eden had somebody to take her out shopping and talk girl stuff and tell her how to pick up boys and all that kind of a thing. But so there's still a hole in their lives. I don't mean that, but they're doing okay. Yeah, that's true, Jess. Yeah, I did have new glasses. I don't know where they are. So they're also a little on the side of sunglasses ish E. So they're nice, but I had to dig to find this pair. I think I bought like 15 pairs of reading glasses, and they're just half a percent higher than normal 1.5s, and I ended up, I don't know where they all are. So I'm so sorry, Penny. That's awful. Oh, thank you, Jess. Her friends will help. Yeah, I know she doesn't want her dad's help on how to pick up boys. Trust me, she doesn't. And again, that's one of the things that's missing. Have you considered joining a church? We kind of have. There's a church that we go to for a youth group, and we've gone on Sunday morning service several times. We haven't gone in the last several weeks because it just didn't work out. And I've been doing sermons myself on Sundays with my kids. That's not something I ever did with our family. We taught, did it more of like a Bible study, interactive Bible study. But for the last 3, 4 weeks, I've been taking my favorite stories out of the Bible and doing a sermon with my kids on them. And I think they've been really enjoyed it. So Eden teaches younger girls about the girl stuff. I guess so. But nope, everybody's still pretty sick. It's not as bad as it was. We go to Casper. There was a girl I was talking to that lived in Casper for a little while, but not now. You listen to your Bible over your house because we do. I turn it down over here. I have a feeling that the Bible sometimes when phones or have a speakerphone type situation on, background noises mess with them. So I turned it down. But we still do that. It still plays in the boys' room, in the bathroom, in my room. Um, there's one in the girls' room, but I think Eden likes to sleep in total peace and quiet, so it gets turned off a lot. So thank you, Rebecca. I still have this little book down here. Every time I wake up in the morning or go to bed, I see it down there. And it's my book my mom got me. Just a bunch of pictures. They're hard to go through. That's when we that's when we first met. Pretty crazy. And that's also when we first met. After we were dating. Look at me. I'm pretty crazy. I can never look at this for very long without getting all teary eyed. This is one of my favorite pictures of her. I loved it when she braided her hair. This picture I like a lot. You can't tell what's going on here, but this is what Andrea was like before she had any children. So this is when she didn't have any kids. She put everything into us, and you can't tell, but this is on our porch, and she made an extravagant, huge meal she invited a bunch of people over and put on this like 5-course meal thing and decorated, and it was so nice. And then she took all that passion she had and she just put it into our kids later on. That's one of the sexiest pictures of her too. So she was super sexy when she was pregnant. There's me with my Ricky Martin hair. You don't see that every day. That's my sister. Anyways, I'm about to my fill. I can't look at too many more of these without being now starting to get all crying. I usually skip to the end because that has my favorite picture. This was on our 20th wedding anniversary. And you can't tell, but the parking lot is all glistening from the rain. It had just rained. Rain is my favorite thing. So it had just rained, and it was so nice and warm. And I took this picture, and I was making a very obvious selfie gesture with the phone, and she didn't notice. I remember thinking it was weird that she never noticed that I was taking the picture. But she didn't. Okay, well, I shouldn't have done that. Ugh. So anyways, that's what that book's for. I do that every now and then. I get through just a few pages, and then I have to quit. Oh. Thank you. Awesome, Amy. I just set it down there out of the way one day when I just got it, and I had a whole bunch of presents and stuff after she died. And I set it down there, and I found myself, when I laid down, my head was looking off the side of the bed, and I saw it there when I went to bed. And I found myself missing it when I picked it up and finally gave it a home somewhere. And so now that's where it stays. It stays on the floor right there by the side of the wall so I can see it when I go to bed. Yeah, I shouldn't have done that. I was already feeling a little emotional. Well, I can't do a live forever. We're just over an hour here. Maybe I should wrap this up. But I haven't heard from any of the kids yet, the little ones, so they must be sleeping. So that's good. And I hear Asher and Judah hanging out and playing and talking in there, which the last several days they just laid on the couch and didn't move a muscle. So they're feeling better. All right, well, I guess I will see you guys later. I appreciate you very much. And science is good at bedtime. I mean, no, not for me. I mean, but yes, it is. It's better when there's no complaining. But laying in my bed at night by myself is the worst part of every day. 5 a.m. Boy, that's early to get up. All right, we'll see you guys later. Thanks a lot. I appreciate you guys. See ya. Thanks, Brooke.